North of 30 years after his time at Top Gun, Chief Pete Freethinker Mitchell is filling in as a U.S. Naval Force aircraft tester. As BAC Naval Commander Chester Mallet Kane ways to deal with shut down the hypersonic Dark Star scramjet program and divert the assets to Ramble programs, Dissident flies the model to its speed unbiased, then drives further into high hypersonic speed, obliterating it. Kane needs to ground nonconformist for his vileness, yet rather sends him to Innes North Island as a Top Gun teacher compelled of Freethinker's companion and previous opponent, Chief of Naval Operations Tom Iceman Kazansky, the leader of the U.S. Pacific Armada. Dissident is requested to prepare a tip-top gathering of FA-18EF Super Hornet pilots collected by Bad Habit Naval Commander Playmate Twister Simpson and BAC Chief Naval Officer Solomon Warlock Bates for an earnest mission to bomb an unfamiliar country's unsanctioned uranium enhancement plant. The plant sits in a profound despondency toward the finish of a ravine and is safeguarded by surface-to-air rockets and fifth-age Su-57 contenders working from a close-by airbase. Nonconformist plans an assault with two sets of Super Hornets, which will fly through a gully and obliterate the plant. The pilots at first repel Freethinker, especially Lieutenant Jake Executioner Serison and Lieutenant Bradley Chicken Bradshaw, the child of nonconformists' late dearest companion and Rio Scratch Goose Bradshaw. As the pilots train for the mission, grating creates among Executioner and Chicken, who detests Executioner's unceremonious demeanor towards his partners, while Executioner condemns Chicken's mindfulness. As the pilots notice Dissident, they reevaluate and blend around him. Dissident likewise reunites with previous sweetheart Penny Benjamin, to whom he uncovers that Chicken's currently dead mother made him vow to hold her child back from flying, and obstructed Chicken's application to the Maritime Institute, hampering his profession. Freethinker later meets with Iceman, who has throat disease and fundamentally imparts by composing on a PC. Consoling Dissident about showing the group, he spends away days after the fact, and Freethinker alongside the pilots go to his burial service where a missing man development is noticed. With Iceman dead, Twister eliminates Freethinker as mission coach and sets new boundaries that are safer on approach yet more dangerous on exit. Notwithstanding, Freethinker makes an unapproved trip of the reproduced course with the first boundaries, demonstrating that it very well may be finished. Typhoon is persuaded and hesitantly selects Freethinker as strike pioneer. Freethinker picks the mission group and coordinates himself with Phoenix and her WSO Weave, while Chicken is matched with Compensation and his WSO Fumble. Executioner and the leftover pilots are placed on reserve. The group dispatches from the plane-carrying warship USS Theodore Roosevelt while the directed rocket cruiser USS Leyte Bay flames hatchet Journey rockets to obliterate the air base close to the plant. The group arrives at the plant and obliterates it, however is gone after by surface-to-air rockets and a couple of watching Su-57 criminals. At the point when Chicken runs out of countermeasures, Dissident forfeits his flight to safeguard him and discharges. Trusting Freethinker to be killed in real life, the excess airplane returned to the transporter. Against orders, Chicken turns around and saves nonconformist from a Mi-24 helicopter gunship, however is fired somewhere near another surface-to-air rocket and discharges close by. The two rejoin and head towards the obliterated airbase, where they take a F-14 Tomcat and go to the transporter. Freethinker and Chicken kill two blocking Su-57s, yet a third shows up as they run out of ammo and countermeasures. Executioner shows up from reserve to destroy the Su-57, and the planes return to applaud the transporter, where Dissident and Chicken. North of 30 years after his time at Top Gun, Chief Pete Freethinker Mitchell is filling in as a U.S. Naval Force aircraft tester. As BAC Naval Commander Chester Mallet Kane ways to deal with shut down the hypersonic Dark Star scramjet program and divert the assets to Ramble programs, Dissident flies the model to its speed unbiased, then drives further into high hypersonic speed, obliterating it. Kane needs to ground nonconformist for his vileness, yet rather sends him to Innes North Island as a Top Gun teacher compelled of Freethinker's companion and previous opponent, Chief of Naval Operations Tom Iceman Kazansky, the leader of the US Pacific Armada.